that if that happens, and if you attempt to refuse that, then you will be charged with, I think, if the county attorney feels that way, and he has already indicated that he does feel that way, that each of you, if you do not comply, will be charged with custodial interference. Felony charges.
If I'm the custodian, how can I interfere with that?
Because if the state takes control
the state has control over my children, so they're not really my children. I birthed them, I grew them, I raised them.
I'm not going to argue with you.
I know you're not, because you're just a tool of the state.
I am just a tool of the state trying to make an honest living for my family. And if it were not me here, it would be another officer here.
It would just be,
and if there's non-compliant and we get those court orders and the things that you're posting on Facebook are true, 10 ways to deal with the police, and...
Oh, you guys are stalking my page. I'm glad you guys read stuff.
And whether you like what I'm saying or not, this
Well, whether it's legal and right and moral.
And you have a right to do whatever. But here's what I see coming down the pike. You can believe me or not believe me.
I know what the state's willing to do. I know what it's allowed to do, and I know what it's willing to do.
Telling you of doing removal orders on your children.
Under what grounds?
The cabinet is in the process.
Because they can, because they have the authority, because you guys are the state, you guys are the ones with the guns, the ammo, the weapons? Is that why?
I'm telling you now. And if it were not me here, it would be another officer here.
It would just be,
and if there's non-compliant and we get those court orders and the things that you're posting on Facebook are true, 10 ways to deal with the police, and...
Oh, you guys are stalking my page. I'm glad you guys read stuff.
We will bring a SWAT team in here and do what we have to do. I don't want to do that.
If you're willing to shoot me to take my children, that's what you have to do. You cannot kidnap my son.
Sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Ma'am, sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
You're going to be at
You will
risk.
shoot me dead. You shoot me dead, but you will not kidnap my son.
Imagine if you loved your children and firmly believed that you knew the best way to raise them and take care of them. And because of that, your entire family, your kids, all 10 of them in this case, were literally kidnapped by cops and taken away from you. Yeah, I just wanted to call and let you guys know, I heard about a recent incident where 10 children were kidnapped by your office, and I just want to let...
I haven't heard anything about that.
Yeah, well, that's what I keep hearing in the news, and it's very disgusting, and it's an offensive crime.
We don't go in and take kids without orders.
Okay.
So there was a reason, or yes, there's more behind the story.
There's more behind the story? Okay, I hope there is, because this is not the first time. This is not the first time that the feds or or government officials in general have gone around and seizing parents' children under so-called, oh, they had drugs or their lifestyle was different. So I just want to let you know my opinion. I am one of many very angry people, because just because somebody has a different lifestyle doesn't mean that they're criminal.
The lifestyle had nothing to do with it.
Okay. Well, I just want to let you know my opinion.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So in the audio, we hear Nicole Nogler approaches Todd Pate. So Sheriff Todd Pate of Breckinridge County and Nicole Nogler are the voices that you're going to hear.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing all right. Joe, he's not.
Joe, okay.
No, it's just me and my boys. Actually, my pet sitter was watching my dogs for me, and she told me she's the one that told me you guys were here last night. She's like, I went by last night, and there were sheriffs at your house. I don't know what's going on. And then today, she's like, I'm not going to go back up there and watch the dogs. Because I need to find something else. So I'm going to come back and take care of my dog.
Okay.
So.
How many of you all are here now?
It's me and my 2 teenage sons.
The other children are not here?
No, we've got jobs going on, and so we're not even. I had to drive back. Actually, after I talked to you all earlier, I had to come in.
Here, I assume you're going to tell me that I can't talk to the boys. Is that what you're going to tell me?
Right. I mean, protocol's protocol, and that's just how.
Nicole, and I talked to, is it Joe? Mm-hmm. Okay. I talked to him today and asked him, and that is your right to refuse to.
Right, I'm trying to arrange
allow
something with
that.
my attorney so that I can talk,
But
to speak
let me
CPS
just
lady.
explain something to you.
Right.
Okay? Now, you can believe this or you cannot believe this, but I'm going to tell you what's going to end up happening. Okay?
Okay.
If you don't allow, after allegations have been made, the Cabinet for Families and Children to speak to those children, just like I said the last time. And Joe said today, he said, well, you said you were going to warrant last time and you didn't. No, I did not. Why did I not? Because you all allowed them to speak to the cabinet worker. Here's how I see this thing going down. Here's how I feel certain that it's going to go down.
Okay.
You are standing the chance of having your children removed.
For what, under what grounds?
Oh yeah, big man, right? Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. To the Noglers, the fucking police, take away their kids. What a great fucking Mother's Day for the Noglers. What a great Mother's Day gift the Breckinridge County Sheriff's Department gave to the Nogler family, who committed no crime. There is no evidence of any wrongdoing. There is no warrant. It was all based on hearsay because one of their buddies had complained. And that's it. No evidence. No warrant. And yet violence went down.
Well, let me just finish
For
what
not
I'm saying,
complying?
okay? When
All
there's
right.
allegations made, now let's don't have a civil conversation,
No, I'm fine with
okay?
that.
When there are allegations made, okay, they have an obligation to check that out. They can't say, oh, we just don't believe it, or, oh, we went out there and the mother and father said, you can't speak to them. You can't do that. I mean, whether they think that it's BS or not, and a lot of times we get those type of calls, and there's probably a decent chance that that is this type of call, and there's a decent chance that this thing could be resolved much simpler.
It's a Haitian bath. It's all good though, you know. I got my soap. I got my shampoo. I take half the water to, sort of wash, and then the other half to rinse. Che Guevara, he didn't bathe that much.
But I'm telling you, the refusal to say, no, you will not talk to my children, no, you will not do that, the court is going to step in, and I think that they will remove your children. And they will talk to your children whether you like that or not.
So I have
don't have a
no rights
dog
as a
in this fight, other than I'm telling you,
I have constitutional rights. I have rights as a parent, and my
you do
children won't
have
speak to anybody
constitutional rights.
without my permission, without an attorney or a warrant. I mean,
You want me to tell you what I think's getting ready to happen?
you cannot kidnap my son.
Sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Ma'am, sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
You're going to be at
You will
risk.
shoot me dead. You shoot me dead, but you will not
Sit down.
kidnap my son.
It's going to happen real quick.
I'm going to be retaliated against for standing up for my rights. Yes.
That is in the process right this moment.
Right. I'm being retaliated
I'm
against.
telling you that the court is in the process as we speak, if
Okay.
it is not done at this moment,
Okay.
of doing removal orders on your children.
Under what grounds?
The cabinet is in the process.
Because
of doing
they can, because they have the authority, because you guys are the state, you guys are the ones with the guns, the ammo, the weapons.
Whether
Is that why?
I'm telling you now. Here's what will happen the next step. If you say, oh, I don't care that you have a court order for my children, your children, if the judge signs that order, are going to be removed, and then you are going to be...
On what grounds? I mean, we haven't broken any
I'm not
laws.
getting-
But I know, but you're saying, okay, I'm going
telling you
to
that the
arrest you for
cabinet-
resisting arrest. That doesn't make any sense.
I'm telling you
guys have no
that
grounds.
the Cabinet for Families and Children have gotten a complaint.
That's
I'm
fine.
telling you that the Cabinet
And I
for
can call them
Families-
tomorrow and say that there's a complaint on you. And it doesn't mean it's right, and it
Let
doesn't
me
mean it's
finish what I'm
retaliatory.
saying. Whether you like what I'm saying or not, this
Well, whether
is...
it's legal and right and moral.
And you have a right to do whatever. But here's what I see coming down the pike.
Mm-hmm.
You can believe me or not believe me.
I know what the state's willing to do. I know what it's allowed to do, and I know what it's willing to
I
do.
am telling you.
Okay, so I got my bucket. It's already tied onto a rope. I'll put it down in here. I don't know if you can tell. Yeah, you can see some things. Hey, what's up, America? Kentucky. There's a bunch of seeds right on top, you see. I think those are seeds. Sometimes I get so excited about getting 4 loads in, I leave the top off. It's probably about, what, 1.5 feet of water still. You see all that crap on the bottom? When you get in there, clean all that up. There was actually a frog that was living in here, and I got it out. So this is how I live. This is what I do. Welcome to my world. In order to, I have no running water. So in order to get water, I just take a bucket. I mean, it's simple. I chose to live here, so I'm not really complaining, but it is a hardship, and unnecessary hardship that I'd like to do better. I throw it out to the side, and then I pull it, and then it fills up, and then I just yank her up, right? Okay.
That, if that happens, and if you attempt to refuse that, then you will be charged with, I think, if the county attorney feels that way, and he has already indicated that he does feel that way,
Yes.
that each of you, if you do not comply, will be charged with custodial interference. Felony charges,
If I'm the custodian, how can I interfere with that?
because if the state takes control
The
over
state
them,
has control over my children, so they're not really my children. I birthed them, I
Nicole,
grew them, I
I'm not
raised
going to
them.
argue with you.
I know you're not, because
I'm
you're just a
not.
tool of the state.
I am just a tool of the state trying to make an honest living for my family.
Off of,
And if it were
Off
not
of
me here,
corruption?
it would be another officer here.
It would just be-
And
yeah,
if there's
exactly.
non-compliant and we get those court orders and the things that you're posting on Facebook are true, 10 ways to deal with the police and
oh, you guys
and
are stalking my page. I'm glad you
blah,
guys
blah,
read
blah, blah,
stuff.
blah, 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 we will bring a SWAT team in here and do what we have to do. I don't want to do
If
that.
you're willing to shoot me to
want-
take my children, that's what you have
I'm
to
not
do.
saying that.
That would,
But I
you
know
have a
that there's
choice.
gunfire
You
around
can either-
here, and I see things that are posted, such as, how am I supposed to take something that says you picked the wrong person to fight with now?
Yes, I was referring to the woman who reported the calls.
Are you saying that there's potential gunfire on your all's part for
I didn't
us
say
to?
anything. You can read into it however you want to, but I
you
will protect my
understand?
family.
You understand where I might read into that?
Yes, I
Do you
will.
understand
I'll
that?
post some more stuff on Facebook, so maybe you can educate yourself a little bit more about my rights. My rights.
Nicole, you have to understand.
How you guys were on my property without a warrant. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 4 more on the other one. It says keep out, no trespassing. What does that mean?
means to keep out no trespassing.
Okay, so you guys came on my property without permission. That is trespassing. So I will file criminal trespass charges against you. It is. If you go on someone's property,
educate yourself in that.
trust me,
Can I
spend a lot of
finish
time.
Had been called in regards to the Nogglers, Joe and Nicole Nogler, and they said that the sheriff wasn't going to be in his office all weekend, which is pretty convenient for him considering, you know, he has a golf scramble. Golf course is closed. Okay, well, I don't know what all the people are doing here, but that's the community center, and there's supposed to be a golf scramble today. I think it's 1 or 3 o'clock. So if the golf course is closed, maybe they didn't do the golf scramble, but if you're all y'all met up, might as well chit chat for a while, hang out for a little bit. Here's a beautiful lake, lots of beautiful lake. There is no, kids could just fall right in right there, right? If they're, that's what they said about the Nogglers. Here's a little historical marker. That was about when Abraham Lincoln was 7 years old, migrating to Indiana. He stayed in a cabin here or something. Here's a VFW post. So, okay.
Criminal trespass, thank you.
That does not apply
Does not apply to
the
you
police when they are.
when you don't have a warrant.
Ma'am, if you will, there are times that I need a search warrant.
There's a phone number right there. There's a phone number right there. You didn't
I've tried
attempt to
it
call them.
numerous times. Left you a message on one if you'd listen to it.
Yeah, I actually got that as I was coming in because I didn't have
Nicole,
service.
I'm not going to stand here and argue with you.
I don't wanna argue with
okay?
you.
I am not going to stand here and argue. I think that if you do not comply, that you will look back. If you don't care any more than to put your children out there and stand the chance of
I'm
them
protecting my
potentially-
children from the state.
Now, they're getting ready to go into state custody.
Well, no, they're not. No, they're not.
Okay,
They're not.
okay.
Mark my words, they will not.
They will not. Do you have them prepared to do something?
I don't have anyone prepared to do anything.
Are there weapons on the property?
That's my constitutional right to have whatever weapons I choose.
You're making this. a
My
lot
property
more
is protected by the
difficult.
Fourth
Now,
Amendment.
why can't
The
you
Fourth
let them
Amendment is
come out and say,
protected by
"Hey,
the
kids,
Because
blah blah
I
blah
know
blah
what
blah,"
they
and
do.
us leave and leave you alone?
You guys were here
for
last year and
another
we did the
year,
whole blah,
and
blah,
we
blah.
went through that,
And you don't need to come
we
back. You know
left.
nothing's nothing's
No,
wrong.
if somebody calls in on my tip line or somebody calls social services,
She's
I'm
a
not
coward.
gonna say, well, a year
You're going
ago,
off of hearsay. You're coming after my family on hearsay.
going after your family at all.
On hearsay.
If somebody called in and said something bad was happening to you, I wouldn't say, "Oh, I just don't believe that." I would be out here to investigate it because that is my my job. If I don't investigate it and something happens to any of these children, or you, if a complaint was called in on, then
I
they
didn't
come
hire
after.
you to protect my family.
Then they come.
I didn't hire you to protect my
No,
family.
but-
I can protect my family myself.
There is criminal trespass charges. There's a complaint. Nicole Nogler said that Todd Pate was criminally trespassing on her property. So who's going to investigate that complaint? Shannon Embry? You going to sign a warrant off for that complaint? You should investigate it. There's a complaint of criminal trespassing. If someone was on your land, you have a right to call the police. Someone was on the land of Nicole Nogler. Not only was there criminal trespass, but there was also false report, and then in a subsequent false arrest, and then a false imprisonment.
I do just fine. I didn't hire you guys to protect my family. I'm forced to pay for your services, but I did not willingly hire you. If I need a bodyguard, I will hire one.
Okay. What are you telling me exactly?
I'm telling you I know my constitutional rights and I'm willing to fight them. I know my rights.
Physically fight? Is that what you're telling me?
I'm not saying anything. I'm telling you I'm willing to fight for my rights. However you want to interpret that is up to you.
Okay.
But I'm telling you I will protect my family.
I'm going to ask you.
And I know how to use the law and I know my rights.
I'm going to ask you at this time.
Okay.
How many children are here?
I told you my 2 teenage boys are here.
Okay. I'm going to ask you at this time to bring them down here. I'm not going to speak to them. I want to lay eyes on them and see them.
So if they stand at the van and wave to you, is that good enough?
I would like for them just to stay on the other side of the. I won't question them. I just want to talk to them. All right. I just want to see them. I won't question them. Tell them to keep their mouth shut and not say a thing.
But why should I trust
You don't have
people?
to do that. But I'm telling you that I feel like you're making this 150
I am, and I'm telling you,
times.
I know as soon as I pull out of here, you're going to pull me over for some stupid little traffic
That's
fine
not true.
and go out.
You have Todd Pate, who had lied through his teeth. He said that he wasn't going to arrest Nicole Nogler with her 2 eldest children while she tried to drive away from the property. He said he was not going to arrest her because he doesn't do things like that. He's a man of integrity. He's a man of honor and respect.
I am telling you that I feel like you're making this 150
I am, and I'm telling you,
times.
I know as soon as I pull out of here, you're going to pull me over for some stupid little traffic
That's
fine
not true.
and go after
No.
me for that.
No, that's not true. I don't do business that way. I don't do business. Never have. Not going to start it today. Been doing this for 27 years. I don't enjoy ever taking anyone's children from them. It's the worst part of the job that you could ever do. Why would I like to tear someone from
I
their
don't
home?
know, but I know.
I am telling you that I feel like you're making this 150
I am, and I'm telling you,
times.
I know as soon as I pull out of here, you're going to pull me over for some stupid little traffic
That's
fine
not true.
and go after
No.
me for that.
No, that's not true. I don't do business that way. I don't do business. Never have. Not going to start it today. Been doing this for 27 years.
Not only did he lie about not going after her,
I am telling you that I feel like you're making this 150
I am, and I'm telling you,
times.
I know as soon as I pull out of here, you're going to pull me over for some stupid little traffic
That's
fine
not true.
and go after
No.
me for that.
No, that's not true. I don't do business that way. I don't do business. Never have. Not going to start it today.
he also lies when he just asked to see the kids. He said he just wanted to see the kids. That's it. He just wants to see them. Bullshit. He wanted to see the kids so then he knew that the kids were there and then he could kidnap them. He didn't want to just see them. He didn't want to just see if this was one of those Oprah stories, see if the kids was all beat up and sickly and bruised. No. This was, I see that you have kids. Now that you're driving away, I'm going to fucking arrest you. And you better shut your mouth.
After me for that.
No, that's not true. I don't do business that way. I don't do business. Never have. Not going to start it today. Been doing this for 27 years. I don't enjoy ever taking anyone's children from them.
So I'm a little bit low on water. Actually, it looks a little bit, little dirty on the bottom in there. So I'm gonna dump all this into something else and clean this out. And I'm gonna use this bucket. I'm gonna go out to my cistern in my backyard. You can see the lid to one side there. You can also see the stake, which is a pecan tree, and then that other stake with a bird on it, it's a pecan tree. There's also another tree that has no stake, but it's got a big ash pile all around it. I need to pick up all the nails and whatnot. So it's sort of protected by the ash pit because nobody wants to drive over the nails. So I have 6 pecan trees. None of that has to do with water. They probably do need water though. Yeah. Okay.
See my thing.
I'm arranging a meeting with the little attorney. When I arrange that, I will let you and CPS talk to them after I've dealt with my little attorney. But I want legal representation before I discuss anything with my children.
Are you going to have them come to where I can see their face?
I don't know. We've got a lot of stuff to do. We've got dogs to take care of.
I don't make this difficult.
I'm not trying to make it difficult. I'm trying to protect myself. And I know my rights.
You're putting your children out there. That's what you're doing. And I don't think, I mean, that's, if you love your children, you wouldn't do that to them.
No,
because you're headed to...
I'd let the state take care of them, right? Let the state come in and just decide what they think is right. What the state decides is right and wrong and not me. And it's majority rule. And majority doesn't like the way I think or the way I live or what I post on Facebook might offend people.
I don't care how you live, where you live, what you live, that you live off the land. I think it's kind of pretty cool. But I think...
She's all 100 pounds and 5 months pregnant. Arrest her too. Doesn't have to. She's just talking. She didn't hit. She didn't punch. She didn't say nothing. She's just talking. But you're not allowed to have free speech. You're not allowed to complain. If the government comes and takes your children, you can't complain about that. How fucking dare you? Throw some bullshit charge like disorderly conduct. It's not disorderly to go to her property with guns and being violent and kidnapping children. Oh, there's another crime. Kidnapping children. Public abuse of the public trust. Official misconduct.
I think that you also have to understand that I have a job to do and that I have to follow up on complaints.
Then tell me exactly what your concern is. What is your specific concern?
The concern is there's a complaint to serve. One concern is that there's a complaint to serve on Joe where he went to get water supposedly. Now, it's based on what's on a piece of paper. I wasn't there. I don't know.
Right.
So there's 2 sides to that story.
Correct.
And the other side is Joe's. But what is on that piece of paper is that he went to get water and they told him he wasn't welcome to. In a nutshell, I'm not quoting what the person said, and that he told one of the children to go get the gun out of the glove box. And that is a concern for the Cabinet for Families and Children. It's also a concern for law enforcement.
Okay.
We see that he admits that he is a tool of the state, meaning that if the judge signs a warrant, he has no discretion. He must do what Shannon Embry tells him to do, or else. Well, I mean, he's the sheriff. I don't know.
Now,
so hypothetically speaking,
when
if someone
you
feels in
barricade
danger,
yourself in a place and say, hands off police, hands off Cabinet for Families and Children, we don't care what your complaint is, we don't care, it's okay for you to say yourself, I will never talk to the police and that's my right. It's also okay to protect your children.
Do my children have that right?
Do you think that okay, let me ask you this question.
So if I ask my children...
Let me ask you this question. A family that doesn't live and believe...
The judicial system is only supposed to interpret the law, not dictate the law. So, them filing warrants out on anybody, they got to have evidence. You got to have evidence. Shannon Embry has taken complaints before without evidence. That's what she does. And she hates children. If they're crying and making a big disturbance, okay, I can understand. But she hates just the sight of them. Even if they just like gurgle, get that kid out of here. Get that baby out of my courtroom. That's who Shannon Embry is. That's the person we're going to trust on this case. Fuck that. They are attacking their lifestyle. They're pissed off because they're not going to their fucking school. I wonder if there is some educational, political bullshit behind all this too. You can only talk to the person who filed the complaint, who we don't know, and the judge who signed off on it, which we don't know either.
Like you're saying that your family does. I get a call from some woman screaming and hollering. I just walked in and my husband is beating my child and they need stitches and their nose is broken and this and that. Am I supposed to say, well, who gives a shit?
I wouldn't call you.
I'm saying if that happened, a neighbor sees it or hears it.
I wouldn't call you.
A neighbor sees it or hears it. What would you tell me to do as the police?
I wouldn't tell you to do anything. I wouldn't call you.
So I should just let that child be abused and beat and stomped?
If someone was beating my child, I would intervene.
Okay.
I wouldn't let anyone abuse my child.
So there's no in between with you understanding my occupation.
No,
based on your
I'm
beliefs.
trying to let you know that I'm standing by my rights, and I know I have them, and I'm going to.
I think that you will see that.
I'll be punished for standing up and using my rights.
I think that you're going to wish that you had just let the children say, "Hey, everything's
Right.
okay,"
I wish
this,
I
that, and
would've
the
just
other.
complied.
When your children are potentially taken out of the home and split into different custody, that's what I think you'll see.
Yeah.
So you have one person who admits to being a tool of the state, just being obedient. He can't say no to Shan Embry, so he has to kidnap this other person's kids. Does Shan Embry have kids? Does Shan Embry have a man? Is that her fucking problem?
That's where we're headed. That's where it's going.
If that's what you guys want to try to do, then that's fine.
It's not what I'm going to try to do. It's going to be a petition placed by social services, handed to a
You
judge.
still haven't told me what your concern is.
I'm going to let the cabinet tell you that.
Well, you're here and you want to talk to my children.
So one person is a tool of the state, and then the other person said they would not be a whore of the state, not only not taking welfare, but also not taking public paid services such as a police officer. So she called him a whore to the state. He admits to being a tool of the state, and she has to go get a real job and hustle and make her own bread, make her own money, so her own family can eat and survive.
Stand right there and wave to Mr. Officer here, and then go back to the cabin. Unless you want to talk to him, then you can come down here.
This could be so.
Do you want to talk to the officer here?
He's getting stuff out of his tent.
Okay. Well, tell him real quick that the officer wants to see him, physically see him. If he wants to talk to him, he can come down here. If not, he can just stand there and wave.
The betting man, Todd Pate, is attracted to Nicole Nogler.
Does Maggie have water?
Yes.
Is she untangled?
Yep.
Good, thank you. Can you grab my bling boxes, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, there's one child.
So y'all are not living here now, or not staying here. Is that what you're telling me?
At the moment now.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah, it's a personal reason,
Okay.
yes.
So were y'all here earlier today when we were here?
No, I came only by just because the lady who was supposed to watch my dogs didn't want to come back because you guys made her uncomfortable.
So she was here and just.
She was here last night when you guys were here, but she left.
Okay.
She was supposed to come make sure the dogs had water.
She, eventually when one of the kids were being arrested, she's shouting child abuse, which, you know, another grown man is grabbing onto them and grabbing and pulling on them. The kids started to fight back, started to resist, and she told them not to. So she is charged with disorderly conduct and resisting arrest. She did not fucking resist arrest. That's horseshit. That's horseshit. She screamed because he's throwing a fucking fetus. He tried to abort that baby. According to Nicole Nogler, her belly was pushed up against the car. They tried to abort that baby.
You guys, she said they were officers.
Are you all moving from here,
I'm
or
not. That's personal information.
it's what?
It's personal information.
Oh,
Here's my other teenage son.
how many children do you have? 10 or 11?
If you follow my page, you'd know. You're on it all day today. You were there today. Obviously, you were reading my page today and
No,
previous post because that was a
I'm
couple.
not going to argue with you.
I know.
I don't have Facebook, don't follow pages, but I have Facebook.
She yells and tells her son not to resist, meaning she understands to not physically resist. She says that she verbally resisted but did not physically resist. But she told her kid, do not resist because he will shoot you. That's what the cops do. They kill people who do not comply. To harass and kill.
Do you want to talk to these gentlemen? Yes or no? Okay. If you have anything you want to say, you can come by. If not, you can go finish grabbing what you're grabbing. Alma, back. Go with him. anything else that you need?
Nicole, I'm sorry that you're allowing things to go this way. Okay? You may think that I'm trying to call your bluff. I think you will see differently.
And so he tried to abort that kid, throwing a 5-month pregnant, 100-pound woman around like a rag dog. You big man, aren't you? Big man.
It's not a threat. It's not anything. I think you will regret doing business the way that you're doing it. Okay? That's what I have to say. I mean, I don't know if your husband is controlling the way that you are responding to this situation. I don't know if this is just your all's beliefs, but, you know, I would hate to think what the world would be like if there weren't some kind of authority figure.
The abortion issue. You have the morning after pill, which is no big deal. James Comer took his girlfriend 20 years ago to the clinic. But I want to mention Josh Gooker, who had killed his stepson because his girlfriend at the time aborted his kid. And so he believed in the old style justice, eye for an eye. Since she had killed his kid with the morning after pill, he was going to kill her kid, who was already 13 years old.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're going to go, but I can't tell you that we won't be back tomorrow.
I won't be here.
Okay.
I have work to do. I don't use the state funds to support my family, so I actually have a job.
Do you all receive any state funds as
Nope.
assistance?
Never have. I will not be a whore of the state, either by paid profession or voluntarily. Welfare handouts.
You also notice that the crime that they commit has nothing to do with anything. It's, I want to take your kids, well, I don't want you to take my kids. Well, fuck you. I will use violence because I'm the state and I'm more powerful than you. She was right. She called him out, says, is it because you're the state? You got the weapons, the guns, and the ammo? Is that the reason why? You're just a tool of the state and you have all the authority to fuck people over? And he had no answer. He just basically complied. Agreed. Yeah, pretty much. So Todd Pate should be charged with kidnapping. Todd Pate should be charged with menacing with a gun. He didn't have a gun. He only was reported to have a knife, Joe. And so Todd Pate did a menacing bigger and worse. When he's got pissed off at Joe just because Joe had said that this case will go viral. And Joe Nogler was right. But Todd Pate didn't like that idea. He didn't like Joe Nogler standing up to him and saying, you know, you're fucking up, man. You're fucking up. Oh, you think I'm fucking up? Well, get in the car. Get in the car. I'm going to shoot you if you don't get in the car.
Do you have everything? Am I free to go?
Yep.
Thank you.
How many game boxes do you have?
3. Yeah, I mean, it's already almost 9 o'clock.
You're getting right away.
Yeah, they're just going to grab a wagon full of a few things that we need, and we're on our way.
That's what you saw with Freddie Gray. They made eye contact with the cop. Many times they won't go after the people that they need to go after, but if somebody gives them the slightest hint of disrespect, that's warrants a beatdown. And violence, kidnapping, if you don't think violence and kidnapping are criminal behavior, do you think rape and murder is criminal behavior? Is anything criminal behavior? If you have a badge, are you allowed to do any fucking thing you want to do without no regard to anybody's life, their humanity, let alone their freedom and their right to pursue their happiness?
Yeah, they're going to follow us. I said,
Yeah, I mean, it's already almost 9 o'clock.
Do not make it any worse than it's going to be.
He knows his rights.
We will end up arresting him.
No!
I'm asking you to maintain your silence, and I'm asking you to not interfere with what we're doing.
I don't have proof that you have proof to take my children.
I have told you.
I need proof.
The sheriff of this county that's telling you no.
Can you call the state police, please? Or they're trying to kidnap my children.
You want to go around hurting people and kidnapping their kids? Arresting a 5-month pregnant, 100-pound skinny mother? Get the fuck out of here, man.
Call the state police and tell them.
We may call them ourselves when we get one out here.
Please do, because you're overstepping your bounds. You have no grounds for taking my children. On hearsay, you cannot take my children. That does not give you grounds to do anything. That is
Ma'am,
kidnapping.
I'm asking you to ask your children to comply with a court order that we have.
I don't have proof of your court order, so therefore I'm going off of what you said, and that's not enough. Stop. He's just going to shoot you, because that's what cops do. They shoot people that don't comply.
And then he admits that he is just the tool of the state.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Ma'am, sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
You're going to be at
You want to
risk.
shoot me dead, you shoot me dead, but you will not
Sit
kidnap
down.
my son.
Okay, so I got this cleaned up. It's all wiped out. All right. Ugh. It's hard to do one-handed here. So I will. Okay, anyways, when it comes to actually sanitation, I bleach it. I put bleach in it, and I don't ever drink this water either. And I use it to bathe and use it to wash dishes with. And I always boil it. So, I always, I got a hot plate, right? So that's sort of, that's my drinking water. This is my bathing water. Needless to say, I do cut back on doing dishes. Really, it's when the ants come.
Out of the car. Right now.
You will not kidnap my son.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
No, you stop. That is abuse. Stop abusing my children.
Just going to get hurt. Get out of the car.
Dear God, you're going to sleep tonight thinking you stole my kids because you're arrogant.
Ma'am, you need to sit down in that
Then
car.
shoot me.
Sit down.
Then fucking do it because you're going to
You're
stop my
convicted of
damn
being
kids.
arrested.
Go ahead.
You're going to be under arrest for disorderly if you don't sit down.
Disorderly, I am standing up for my rights. I have a Fourth Amendment right to search and seizure. You should seize my children.
I just need a big plumber's thing because I think it's just not primed up, and so it quit pumping. Supposedly it pumps throughout the whole house, but it would have to be on the whole time. The water heater would have to be on the whole time. Lastly, what are the other governor and lieutenant governor candidates saying about this case? We have 8 governor candidates and 8 lieutenant governor candidates who are running. So the lieutenant governor, what is Casey Crosby saying? What is Chris McDaniel saying? What is Sandy Overly saying about this? Can Sandy Overly understand what it's like to be poor, living on a hill, being a poor hillbilly? Does Sandy Overly have any clue? She does these white-collar mafia tricks. What about the other 5 candidates? I'll take a quick shot of actually the homestead, the Masters Democratic Republic. Actually, I'll put this lid back on, which I may have forgot to do if I didn't come back out here. So, not all this is mine, just to the hill line, to the trees. Right, to that corner there along the road, and then all the way to the end there, and then behind my house. Heather Curtis, what does she think about this case? What does, let's see, there's 4 other ones. So James Comers is Chris McDaniel, already mentioned him. Chris McDaniel, Casey Crosby, Sandy Overly, Heather Curtis, that Elizabeth Anderson with the Gatewood Galbraith, with that Terry guy.
You have seized my children. Quentin, do not say a word. I will come get you. Jacob, do not say a word under any circumstances.
And with Matt Bevin, you got Janine Hampton. What is Janine Hampton? She's Tea Party, right? This is her thing. Shouldn't she speak up for this too? Matt Bevin, aren't y'all Tea Party? I'm Occupy. I'm a Democrat. Are any of these so-called Tea Party people speaking up in defense of the Nogler family and their right to unschool? Everybody wants to bring in all these charter schools. That's right up your alley.
I explained to you what was getting ready to happen, didn't I?
You did this! You threatened me for not complying! You threatened me for not complying! You have no grounds to take my children!
Ma'am, do you want to go to jail with me?
I do not! I need to go find my other children. Make sure you don't take them either!
Okay? I'm asking you to calm down, or I'm going to place you under arrest for disorderly conduct.
That's right up your alley. See, who else is there? I'm missing somebody. Who is James Comer's? Oh, I already mentioned that. Hal Heiner is Casey Crosby. Will T. Scott. His running mate is Rodney Coffey. So what does Rodney Coffey think about this? He's a sheriff. I bet he thinks he gets state power. That's what all these politicians who's running for office, of course they want all the power. They want it all. There is no restriction to state power. That's modern nation state theory. That's political science 101. The nation state has the monopoly on the violence. They get all the violence. She was right. Nicole Nogler was right. She was very intelligent and brilliant in every single one of her arguments that she had made.
Why did you
Do you understand what I'm telling you?
I never saw a warrant. I never saw any kind of paperwork. You just did this. I understand my rights. I understand that I don't have a lawyer for them. I understand all this.
You're going to start understanding that you have to comply with the law, too. I think she needs to be arrested for disorderly.
No, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not being disorderly. I'm standing up for my rights.
But Todd Pate didn't give a shit about the logic to what she was saying. He only wanted to nab her children. Fuck whatever she was saying. Nicole Nogler be damned. But that's going to be a saving grace. She was absolutely brilliant. When she called him a tool of the state, he says, yes, I am a tool of the state. And I'm just trying to make an honest living for my family. So he protects his family by going around victimizing other families. I would think that if you were part of Todd Pate's family, you wouldn't want him to go around fucking with other families. That's what creates a beef. Don't go fucking around with other families. That puts us at risk. Be nice to people. That's how you get respect. You give respect to get respect.
You're under arrest.
No, sir. Do not take my phone. I have recorded for this. Ow! 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 You're going to be doing all my fucking recordings with my phone. Although I texted the mother to my husband. Oh, dear. I'm fucking pregnant. Be careful of my belly. Oh, my belly. Guys, I'm pregnant. I'm not fucking kidding. I didn't act this way. I'm standing up for my rights. I don't have any rights.
And then he admits that he is just the tool of the state.
Can I leave my keys and my phone in the car for my husband to come?
I told you what to expect, did I not?
And then he admits that he is just the tool of the state.
I want you in the car. I will put you in a police car, too. You understand me?
I'm reporting them.
I understand that. Do you have any children with you?
No, I do not. Okay. Listen, I'm more diplomatic than my wife. Just tell me what you need.
I need the other children brought to you.
That's fine.
I tried to deal with
us.
No, because they fear that you're going to allow you to come.
We have done nothing wrong. Well, I have some friends coming up who can house them.
We tried to. We're not allowed to.
What are you doing with my wife?
I need you to leave. She's going to Breckinridge County Jail.
Can I take this car? This is registered in my name, please. She's going to the county jail? Okay, you guys know that this is going to go viral. It's going to go viral. Can I take the car?
I want you to get in your car right this moment.
I will. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Can I take this, please? I'm going to throw it just like.
And then he admits that he is just the tool of the state.
Can I please just take? I can't afford to tow.
Put your car and you're going to be able to.
Yes, sir.
We'll bring a SWAT team in here and do what we have to do. I don't want to do that.
If you're willing to shoot me to take my children, that's what you have to do.
We'll bring a SWAT team in here and do what we have to do. I don't want to do that.
If you're willing to shoot me to take my children, that's what you have to do.
We'll bring a SWAT team in here and do what we have to do. I don't want to do that.
If you're willing to shoot me to take my children, that's what you have to do. You cannot kidnap my son.
Sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Ma'am, sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
You're going to be at
You want to
risk.
shoot me dead, you shoot me dead, but you will not kidnap my son. You cannot kidnap my son.
Sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
Ma'am, sit down.
You cannot kidnap my son.
You're going to be at
You want to
risk.
shoot me dead, you shoot me dead, but you will not kidnap my son.
Remember in the audio she was talking about the no trespassing signs. There's a bunch of no trespassing signs. I found their address just randomly online. I just got internet access to information. I don't have a database. It says it's got phone numbers actually there. I probably should try calling them and see if they want to talk to me. I've sent them a Facebook message.
No, I'm not saying that there is. I'm saying based on what I've seen, no. And because Russell hadn't seen your place, and he's like, well, what's the deal? And I'm like, nothing. I said, he's like, well, is it dirty? And I said, no, it's orderly.
I understand you're the father. I want you in the car. I want you in the car. I will put you in a police car too. You understand me?
I'm recording everything.
I understand. You have children with you.
No, I do not.
Okay.
We're diplomatic to my wife.
I need the other children brought to the cabinet for families and children.
That's fine.
I'm trying to deal with this. No, then we go into state care because you all don't allow them to come to the police. Or
We have done nothing wrong.
go.
Well, I have some friends coming up who can house them.
Okay. We tried that, but we're not allowed to talk.
What are you doing with my wife?
I need you to leave. She's going to the Breckinridge County Jail.
Can I take this car? This is registered in my name, please. She's going to the county jail? Okay, you guys know that this is going to go viral. It's going to go viral. Can I take the car?
I want you to get in your car right this moment.
I will. Yes,
Get in
sir.
your car right this second and leave.
Yes, sir. Take this, please. Can I please just take? I can't afford to
Last
tow.
time, to your car, or you're going to be able to understand me?
Yes, sir.
I'm a phone.
Yes, sir.
Keep your recorder on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it. I'm telling you. Let's go. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing we can do. There's nothing.
Can I talk to you for a minute reasonably? I mean, having nothing to do with this. Okay,
Let's just go.
No, I'm not talking.
No, I gotta call my friends. I have.
You're not going to talk to me. I understand.
I have two young boys in the car.
Todd, I understand, and I don't want them harmed not by you. No, I'm not saying that.
And there's a little driveway up here, too, that goes pretty much to the same piece of property. It's also got no trespassing signs. They're not bothering anybody out here, and whoever would be complaining on them, I think it's just because they're getting notoriety for being, off the grid. And then you set up in opposition. You must do what I tell you. They don't want to do what they told you. Now that's the crux of the situation. You have to comply, but why? These are my kids. How can you tell me? How can you take my kids away? And that's a good argument. Whose kids are they? The state's kids or the parents' kids? Well, they're the parents, right? The parents own the kids in some respects more so than the state does. The kids own themselves, really, right? They're their own people. So I don't know who would want to mess with these fine folk. There's 26 acres here, so they could be way back in the woods. I think she said there was like 24 of it was wooded.
Because we wouldn't talk to you guys on your terms because we were busy. Are the keys in the car?
There about 10 o'clock in the morning.
Is the keys in the car?
Laying on the desk.
So it's a good grab for them. I hope they come talk to me. I don't know if they will. They might not even be here if they're being, sort of terrorized and bombarded with media and questions. And then the media doesn't even. They'll show them in the worst light possible, which I think is disgusting how they do that. They don't have the courage to stand up to the public officials, so they go pick on the public. Assume that everything the public officials say is 100% legit.
Oh, she lost her phone? Who took her phone?
She had to read or she was jumping and falling.
Can I talk to my wife real quick? So 10 o'clock tomorrow, where's this place at, please? Where's
Here's
this?
what I want you to do. I want you to bring him to the sheriff's office by 10 o'clock in the morning.
Sheriff's office.
Yes.
Okay.
Every child you have.
We only have 2.
Okay, that's fine.
And they're not being abused, they're not being mistreated, we've done nothing wrong.
They're being mistreated at your all's hands by not complying with what the court has asked and what
No
people
court
have-
has asked us to do anything.
This sheriff has asked you that, and social workers have asked you that, and also I've asked your wife, and you all are totally non-compliant.
And then he admits that he is just the tool of the state.
And so you put your children, and I'm fine with you recording at this type risk. If you had talked to us,
What exactly is the complaint? Can you please tell me that?
likely if they had talked and the complaint was unsubstantiated, maybe nothing would have been done.
I understand that. What was the complaint about, though?
You'll see those tomorrow. The complaint is, one, a complaint that I might as well go ahead and serve on you. Right now,
Yes, please.
actually, I've got 2 copies of it.
Do I need to sign anything?
Actually, I've just got one.
There's there's plenty of space to do a lot of stuff. I've rented the land out, 5 acres of it, to be raised in whatever the tenants want to raise. It's kind of a no man's land. I wish I would have cleaned it up a little bit more. It's where they put a trash pile. But a lot of this is pretty good land, I think. And I'd love to have some equipment. All I got is a shovel, a sling blade, a hoe. So there's not much one man could do with 7 acres. But I mean, there's lots. I would like on the day of the election or the day after the election, it'd be a fun ass time to have a big ass fucking music festival.
In the morning, so that I'm in the morning. Okay? You'll be there by 10? Okay. All right. With the children.
I don't need this to be any worse.
With the children.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Do you want to do it tonight? Huh? Is that possible?
No, we'll just do it.
It would take some work, a blacky white, and just some sort of platform. But I mean, here's 6.5 acres to do something with. All right, so just put a platform there. Everybody have a bunch of tents, and there's a lot of space. 6.5 acres. It's quite a bit of land.
We'll just do it in the morning. I'll be there by 10. I got my word, Todd.
I'm telling you.
You don't need to threaten me?
No, but I'm telling you what the county attorney said. He said that there would likely be custodial interference charges once we made you aware of that. That's felony charges.
I understand that.
Okay?
I understand that.
If nothing else, my goodness, think of your children in situations like this instead of placing them in situations like this. I mean, it's unreal.
The situation that we're placing them in now is not letting you guys speak to them.
That's a big portion of it. And also the allegation.
What is she going to be charged with?
Disorderly conduct at a minimum.
At a minimum, what else? What am I going to take to get her out?
Possibly resisting arrest.
What is it going to take?
I don't know. That'll be a bond.
What's a bond? How much do you know? Have a seat right now.
On Facebook might offend people.
I don't care how you live, where you live, what you live, that you live off the land. I think it's kind of pretty cool. But I think
You also notice with Todd Pate that the crime that Joe, what the fuck is her name? Goggler? Shit. Noggler. Okay. So, you can spend the night and be alright. Then it goes all the way to the end of that stop sign there. So, welcome to mi casa. I planted all these flowers, these beautiful flowers. I'm planting some grass over here. I got some clover. I just kind of did in little choppy spots. And sort of, I got this weed here. It's just a little experiment, just to see how, if it'll take over all my pretty yellow flowers here. Took forever planting these flowers, but as you see, it's got rows and rows of them.
Just have a seat. Hey, you're an Noggler, have a seat right now. But I'll tell you what's going on, Abigail. You're a Noggler, have a seat.
Everybody okay?
No. Okay, listen. The state has kidnapped Jacob and Quinn. They've arrested Mom. Okay? And they will be kidnapping you tomorrow morning. If I don't bring you down to the sheriff's office by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they will put out felony charges out on you. And Mom. So, this is what's going to happen. Tomorrow morning, we're going down to the sheriff's office. And I'm just going to have to send you guys to the state for a while until we get you guys back. Okay? That's just what's going to happen. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm using the force of a gun to dictate this. You guys understand why we live the way we live? You guys understand? Okay, while you're with them, you say nothing. You understand? You don't consent. You don't, and nothing.
What is consent?
You don't agree with what they're doing. Okay? You be reverent. You be decent. Okay? All right? But this is crazy out of control. So I have to drop you guys off 10 o'clock tomorrow. You will not be living with us for I don't know how long.
Yeah, so let's have a big fucking hippie Woodstock right here, Blackie White. What are you doing, man? You don't even need a platform, really, do you? Just set your music instrumental up. I guess you need electric. I got electric. You could drag electric cords, right? I got extension cords. You might need to bring a couple of them, but that'd be fun as fuck. Hell, you just have a bunch of pickup trucks and a bunch of tents out here. Have a redneck hippie party. Redneck hippie party. Okay. So Todd Pate should be convicted of menacing. He should be convicted of kidnapping. He should be convicted of official misconduct, of criminal trespass, of falsely arresting without a warrant. He should be convicted of lots of charges. These are my complaints. Am I not a citizen of Breckinridge County? I saw these things. That doesn't make me feel safe. You going around just arresting anybody for just because one of your buddies bitched about somebody? That's bullshit. They put a warrant out for my arrest just because one of their fucking buddies bitched about it. And if y'all don't want to go that direction, what I think you need to do, what would be a good solve-all solution, would be for Breckinridge County to get Joe and Nicole Noggler to agree to use the money from their GoFundMe account to install a septic and a cistern or a well system on their property. Take that $5,000 and actually provide those kids with a good home with their parents who clearly love them, who are giving them freedom, the greatest gift that any American should cherish and value. They're giving them a beautiful, wonderful gift. And everybody in America can learn something from Joe and Nicole Nogler. May 19th, don't forget to go vote.